Well, good morning, everyone. This is Linda with Linda Sue Plants for You. This video is going to be an update. I have a lot of plants that I did things with, plants that were dying that came back to life, and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to update you on a few of those. I'm going to start with my watermelon begonia. My watermelon peperomia. And this is the one I bought last March at Walmart, and it was for April, I think it was, and it was really cold. It was the beginning of the season, and it looked really bad when I brought it home, but it was fairly cheap, so I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I brought it home, and look at her now. She is huge. She is gorgeous. She's got a couple little issues with a few leaves, but no big deal. And she's got new growth coming in on the bottom. I almost repotted her not too long ago. Now, probably about a month and a half ago. Because she didn't seem to be doing anything, and she's in a very strange kind of a substrate. So I thought, well, maybe I better repot her, but something told me just to leave it alone, and I'm so glad I did, because, wow, look at her now. And then next to that, you'll see my Calathea Ornata, otherwise known as the pink stripe Calathea. She, too, is really bringing me some pleasure. Much joy, I should say. And what happened with her is, I'm not going to go into the full story because I don't want to take that much time, but just suffice it to say, I was down to one leaf, and my friend Suzette told me to put it in a bag, a Ziploc bag, which I did, and I'm so glad I listened to her, because I ended up getting a new leaf, and then another one starting, so I took her out of the bag. She was doing fantastic, and then I noticed she had spider mites. And I'm going to talk about that at another time, but I have an opinion about that I want to share with you all. Okay, so anyways, I got rid of the spider mites, but as you can see, there was some damage to the leaves. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut those off yet or not. I want to just leave this alone for now. But look there's another new shoot coming up. She's got 5 leaves, 2 of which are in bad shape, and 1 new one coming. I'm so happy about that. It took so long to get her to grow. And then I have more success behind her. You can see more shoots coming up in that plant. And then I've got another new shoot coming up in this one that I almost lost. So I'm very, very happy with what's going on with those. Okay, this plant, this is a wax ivy. It's not really an ivy, and I forget what it is in the botanical world, but this I got as a cutting, and it was huge, but because it was in the mail for so long, it came to me limp and wet and mostly rotted. I only had a couple leaves left on this plant, and I cut all the dead stuff off. I let her dry out on the table for a couple days, and then I potted her up, and look at her growing. Look at her now. Very healthy. She's got very beautiful color. The leaves are healthy, and look at how long it is. So she's definitely going to make it as well. All right. And here is my Mikens Philodendron. This was also a Well, this was more than a cutting. This is from Suzette as well. And she sent me a good amount of plant that she rooted for me. And she is growing like a weed. I have her in a south window. See if I can get a little closer. Just look at the color. I mean, the color on this plant and the texture and the detail is just gorgeous. I love, love, love this plant. So she has really done very well too. And then moving over to my area behind my sofa. This is where I should say my husband installed the Hydrolyte. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. And these plants are doing, well, I guess all I can say is they're going to outgrow their space very quickly. That Hydrolyte is something else. I mean, there's so much new growth on these plants, and just in that 2 weeks, it's unbelievable. See if I can get a little closer. You can see that new shoot on there. That's my Florida Ghost. Her leaves are getting big. She's getting a ton of new growth, as is my Philodendron Moonlight. My Barrel Marks. She's got 3 mature leaves and 2 more coming up. Folks, this is all in since we put this light up. This is 2 weeks worth of growth. It's unbelievable. Okay. And for those of you that were worried about my blue star, there she is. She's all perked up and happy. I'm going to be hanging her today. She's going to make it. She's going to be just fine. And I'm going to be hanging her up in this window. On that hook up there. And remember in that last video I said I want to put her in the same room and give her the same kind of care and light as my kangaroo paw, and that's where she is. And I showed you a close-up of her a couple, 2 videos or so ago. So I'm going to be putting my blue star fern right here, and I'm so hoping that she's going to like it there. Okay. And then we have my Black Knight. I just did a video on that, and it was rather lengthy, but if you want to see what I did with that, it used to be all the way down to the floor, and then I cut it up and made some plants. This is what I'm keeping left of the original plant, but I'm going to walk over and show you. These are the plants that I started for my girls from that plant. You can see all the new growth on that. And then this one, this is all the These are all the leaves that fell off that stem. I'm going to try to get a close-up here. I want you to see. I hope you can. I'm not sure if my camera is on or not. I think it is. I hope it is. I just accidentally hit the button. Okay, well, if it's not, I guess I'll have to come back and refilm this part. But anyway, this is the fallout from the Black Knight. And I just wanted to show you up close the roots that are coming. I'm hoping you can see them. They're very, very hard to see through the camera, but I think you can see that. I mean, that's throughout this whole container. And once again, it's only been, I don't know, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, somewhere in there. And someone asked, what am I going to do with all the cuttings that when they produce a plant? And I honestly never thought about it. I just couldn't throw these away. So it looks like I'm going to have an awful lot of Black Knight plants. I wish I could get myself to the post office because I'd offer them for free and I would send them out, but I just have no way to do that. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to come up with some kind of plan, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. Okay. And then last but not least, these begonias. I moved from the living room back to the dining room, and they really like it in here. They have taken off like crazy. They too have just grown. I mean, they're just out of control. They're outgrowing their space. And although that should be a wonderful thing, and it is on one hand, but I'm getting worried because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to put them. And I love them. They're so healthy. But they're just, they're huge. Look at how big the leaves are on this. And the whole plant is, my Immaculata as well. It's massive. And my raindrop Peperomia, or teardrop, I've heard it referred to as both. I'm not sure which one is correct. That one has got all kinds of new growth on it as well. And when I got it, it was pretty sick. I wasn't sure if it was even going to make it. But it's got a ton of new shoots coming up from the bottom of the soil and all over the whole plant. So I really just have so much to be grateful for today. Looking at all of the wonderful growth and the happiness in my plants, it's really made my day. So that's about it. Oh, I have one more I want to show you. And this isn't going to be too exciting for anybody, I'm afraid, but I'm excited about it. And that is my purple passion. For those of you that have been following me, you know what a struggle I've had with this plant. I don't know what was wrong with it. I still don't know what was wrong with it, but it's finally coming back, and that's all I have left of it. This was actually a cutting that I took for a friend. And I say that carefully because I cannot get to the post office. I have to depend on other people to do it. And I don't want anyone to feel slighted because I sent something to one person and not to another. But if you knew the story here, you'd understand. But just know that that is all I have left. If I hadn't done that, I would have nothing left of her. So I think she's going to be okay, but it's going to take until spring before I'm able to make cuttings of her and get her to the person it was intended for. And if she's watching, she'll know who she is. Okay. Oh, and then one last thing here. See that new leaf coming up? This is my poly, otherwise known as African mask. I should pause and say something here that's of importance. I had my Anthurium Friday. I'm sorry. Alocasia Friday. I had it when I first got it, I had it in the living room, and it got spider mites, and that's how my pinstripe Calathea ended up with the spider mites, by the way. So I got rid of that. I repotted her the Friday, and I treated her, and I kept her away from my other plants until I was sure she was good. And then I brought her into this room, and I had her on the table because I was still a little leery about putting her with my other plants, and she got them again. So I went through the same regimen. I took all the old soil off. I disinfected the pot, and I treated the plant. And when I was sure there was nothing going on, I set her over here. Well, lo and behold, a few days back, one of her 3 leaves were drooping down, way down, hanging down there. So I took a closer look, and upon further inspection, guess what I found? Yep, more spider mites. Actually, a nest, a spider web at the crux of the plant. That was it for me. 3 times you're out. I picked her up, I took her in the kitchen, I set her on the stove, and I really had to ponder what to do. And I really hated the decision that I made, but I really felt like I had no choice. I got rid of her, folks. I threw her out. And those of you that know me, you know how long I've been waiting for that Friday and how much I love that plant. But I have well over 300 plants in my house, and I just didn't want to take that chance. I mean, 3 times, you know, I can understand it if I just maybe hosed her off with some water and hope for the best, but going through the regimen that I went through with her 3 times, and then they came back again, I just figured she's just going to be prone to them, and I'm not willing to take that chance for any plant, because I have too many others that I love, and I don't want them to get affected by it. So I got a little nervous because this is also an alocasia. But you know what? And I've heard people say that these are also prone to spider mites. I've never had spider mites on her, and she was right next to the Friday who had spider mites, and she still didn't get them. So I think I just got lucky, and I think that happens a lot in the plant world. But anyways, I'm so happy that this one is coming back and doing well. I think she started to go into a dormancy because she flowered. And I understand that once they flower, they like to go dormant. But she's never gone completely dormant on me, and I hope she never does. Like I said, she's got a new shoot coming up, a new leaf, getting ready to unfurl, actually. So she's doing good. Little browning on the tips, that was a watering issue on my end. Shame on me. But she's doing good. So, alright, I am going to call it a day. I just wanted to give you an update on those plants. And I know people have asked me about it, and I always forget to do that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to just do that real quick here and let you all know how things are going. And I have more videos planned, so obviously, I think I say that at the end of every video, but I do. So I hope you all will come back and see what's new with Linda Sue. Okay, you all have a great day. I'll be back soon. Bye-bye now.